home life.
Hey guys, what's happening, man?
Hey Matt, 7 days in the camp, where y'all at?
I think we're doing pretty well. You know, obviously the first week of camp is always huge, especially, you know, for the young guys kind of getting acclimated to how we work and how we do things in pads. I think they've done a great job with it. I think the energy has been really good. Our attention to detail in meetings has been excellent. So I feel like we've been productive in the first week. We've got a long way to go, you know, but we're off to a really good start, and I think everybody is encouraged with that.
The coach said the scrimmage will resume tomorrow. I believe you all are down.
Yeah. We only played a half. You know?
Yeah.
Can't win it in the first half. So, yeah, we got some work to do tomorrow. I think we were a little bit behind. So hopefully we have a strong finish tomorrow.
Matt, talk about the red zone. Obviously, a lot of guys talking about that work that's being done. Mm-hmm. Specifically, like, talk about the things that you guys are trying to get accomplished there.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you know, the number one thing is trying to find ways to score more touchdowns. That's probably, you know, the biggest point of emphasis for us as an offense. I thought we moved the ball effectively last year. I thought we did good things on third downs. I think we need to be more efficient when we get our chances in the red zone of coming away with touchdowns. How do you do it? You rep it. You know, you rep it. And we've worked a lot in practice on, you know, those situations. I think Q has made that a point of emphasis for us, and you keep going after it. You know, we got to work on our timing. We got to work on our details. We got to run the football effectively down there as well. So it's a combination of all of those things. You know, but there's no secret, you know, to doing it. It comes down to hard work and finding ways to get it done.
Julio said he was 100% healthy. Can you tell? Okay.
He looks good. I mean, I don't know. You know, he looks great. Obviously, you know, he's in really good shape. I got to spend some time with him prior to training camp, and he looked great then. So I don't like to comment on other people's percentages, but I like that he said he feels 100% because he looks pretty good.
Matt, we've asked you a lot about Julio and Calvin, but a receiver we haven't really asked you much about is Marvin Hall. What kind of training camp is he having, and how do you see him fitting in the offense?
Well, I think Marvin's having a really good training camp. I think he's had a great offseason. You know, he was really, really good for us, you know, in terms of training, in terms of attention to detail, his work during OTAs. He was excellent, and you know, I think he's kind of continued that through the first week. I think he's going to be a good, you know, reserve guy for us behind, you know, you talk about those first three guys. I mean, Marv's right behind that. I mean, he's got great top end speed. Showcased that last year when he got his opportunity. He great touchdown pass. I think maybe against the Dolphins, you know, where he hit a post on and showcased how fast he is. I think he's a lot more comfortable with the system, and you can see that in terms of breaking the huddle, getting lined up, knowing his adjustments, just being on point. And I think that's allowing his speed to show up even more. You know, when you're clear in the mind, it allows your physical skill set to go out there and kind of take over. And I think through the first week, you've kind of seen that with Marvin.
How have you seen Austin Hooper progress since he's joined this club?
Well, I mean, you know, he's gotten a lot better, a lot more polished. You know, his first 2 years, he was productive. I think he had like 45 catches or something, somewhere around that last year. And, you know, while it's not a huge number with the other guys that we have, that's, you know, a pretty good fit for our system. I think, again, he's kind of figured out the timing of the offense that we want, and, you know, is being a little bit more patient with his routes, just understanding where we expect him to be. And I think, you know, that, along with the additions that we have, is going to make for him to have a really good year.
Matt, speaking of whom, he said you guys did a lot of work in the offseason. Do you feel like you have a connection or a better connection with him?
For sure. You know, I think being on the same page is critically important in this league because things happen so fast. And so, you know, you have to have so many reps, you have to have so much time on task and an understanding of what we're expecting from each other in order to be successful. And I got to give him a lot of credit. You know, he put in a lot of time this offseason and, you know, was very unselfish with the locations of where we would meet, and so kind of accommodated to me, which I appreciated from him.
You throw to him in the street?
Yeah, throw to him. He would show up anywhere, literally would show up anywhere, and did. And you know, I appreciate that from him. But you know, that's the kind of stuff that it takes to be really good in this league. You have to be willing to work. and he's certainly willing to put in that work. And there's little things that have come up during training camp where you've seen that work come to fruition, and that's the stuff that kind of continues to motivate you when you see that hard work put in, and then you kind of see the production that comes from it. It kind of makes you want to put in more, and that's kind of been the case with him. I mean, his work ethic, his attitude's been outstanding.
Has that always been there, that work ethic?
100%. But I think it takes time, in this league as a young guy to figure out really, what it's going to take for you to be successful. Because everybody's different. Everybody can tell you what their routine is and how they do things, but we're all different. We all have different personalities. We all operate differently. And I think he's kind of gotten to a point where he's comfortable with himself, understands, what it takes for him to be productive, and has figured that out. And, to me, it looks really good.
Matt, how's the rapport with Greg Knapp?
Napper's great. Honestly, it's we've gotten to know each other really quickly, and I think his familiarity, to be honest, like with Matt Schaub, of having worked with him before, has made for a really comfortable room. Knowing the personality type, Schaub knows me. Schaub can kind of let Napper know about how some of the things I might like, in addition to me telling him that. I think that's led to a really good transition for us. He's got a wealth of knowledge, has worked with a lot of different guys, and I think that experience is good for me, but is really good for our football team.
Mel, what are your thoughts on the offensive line, these temporary tattoos that are wearing?
I wish they were permanent. Giving shout outs to our coaches. It was. I laughed pretty hard because I didn't know about it, and I walked in this morning and I saw Dan Brunskill sitting at his locker, and I saw his forearm tattoo, and I was like, oh my God, that's a bad tattoo. I'm not sure what he's doing. I sat down, and then Shabby told me about what they were doing in our meeting. I was like, oh, thank God, I just saw Brunskill, and I didn't have the heart to tell him he had an awful tattoo. So it was pretty funny. But those guys are always coming up with something, whether it's Andy LeBitre, ordering these tattoos months ago just for today. So it was pretty funny.
Anything else, guys?
Coming out of camp, what's the mindset you'd like to see this team have?
Well, I think it's about putting in the work day to day. I think camp, if you can focus on the daily grind and improving every day and attacking every day, it sets up for a good mindset throughout the season. Sometimes we look too far down the road, and you're worrying about things that could happen in December or January or February. But if you're not taking care of August 3rd today, then those things aren't going to happen. And so, if we can create that mindset now of handling your business day to day, so that when we get to the regular season, we operate the exact same way, that's going to benefit us.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.